say hi to everybody. Today is day 5 of our 5-day sugar/liver detox challenge this week. Um, it's been an amazing week. I have just been really pleased with what's been going on in this group and how many have decided to participate with us and just move forward with us. So thank you so much for being here with me this week. It's really been a blessing for me and I hope for you as well in this whole process. So welcome again. So today we're going to be talking a little bit more in depth or just more of a review of everything that we've been doing together over these past 4 days. So let's see. So the first thing is, oh, you know what? Let me see who did our homework. I didn't check that out yet. Give me one sec. I wanted to announce our winner for this week. And let's see, who do we have? Yeah. Lorica Van Wyck, congratulations. This week, you are our winner for doing our assignment for this week for day 4. So congratulations on that. I will send you a little Starbucks gift card on me. I know you're out of the country in South Africa, but let me know if you have that in your area, or if not, I'll send you something else really cool. So anyway, congratulations for winning that this week and doing our homework assignment from yesterday, which was, where did we have for homework last week? Oh, yes, to clean out your kitchen and let us know what you cleaned out of your kitchen. So I know that, actually, I didn't really hear from anybody yet. I know that she didn't necessarily do that, but she has been participating and did share about her goals and her visions for herself. So she was the first to do that. And I wanted to honor her for doing that with us this week. But if you did clean out your kitchen or you did pull out anything from your fridge that you really feel will doesn't go along with what our goals are for this week for food, go for it. Take a picture of it. Let me know, and I'd be happy to reward you for that. So you can still do that, and you can post that in our feed for the yesterday's post. So for day 4. Okay, so today let's talk about breaking the cycle forever. So learning how to quickly exit the sugar cycle and move into the life of freedom. I also like to use the word liberation, energy, and vitality that you were actually meant to live, right? All right. So how are you feeling? Let me know in the comments. How's it going? How are you doing this week? Thank you for participating. Oh, here's the biggest thing. Let me know in the comments today, because I want to award you all. I'm going to do an award this week, a reward this week, for the person who has done the most days, who has attended the most days in our class, and then also the person who has gone the most days without sugar this week. So please comment, whether you're watching this recording or live, comment in the comment section how many days, and let me know exactly what you're talking about, how many days that you've gone without sugar this week, and how many days you've joined me live this week. Put that in there, and I will reward the person who has the highest numbers in both of those categories. So please do that for me. I would love to see, plus it's a little inspiring for all of us, and I really want to reward you for the hard work you've done and the dedication you've shown to yourself and to this group this week. So make sure to do that. All right, so I was saying earlier, okay, what I would really love to know is how you're feeling, and then also something that you've learned about yourself this week. So what's something that you've learned about yourself this week? I know when I've done other cleanses and detoxes with groups in the past, I always end up finding out something new about myself. Usually when I'm diligent about cleansing or detoxing, I find myself being diligent in other areas of my life, or more intentional or more purposeful in other areas of my life. So for me, that's what I end up noticing about my character, or character flaws in myself will come up more readily as I'm doing a detox or cleanse. So it's interesting how there's a lot of emotional correlations or behavioral correlations when we're doing something new. So let me know how you've grown outside of taking sugar out of your diet this week, and how it might have extended into other areas of your life. So share with me that, as well as how many days you've been on live with me and how many days you've gone without sugar. So that'd be awesome. I'd love to hear that. And I love our responses yesterday about whether you want a chef, a personal chef, a personal hairstylist and makeup stylist, or somebody to clean your house daily. That was kind of fun. So if you haven't watched day 3 or you didn't comment, sorry, day 4 and comment, go back there and comment, because I'd love to see what you feel you would love to have the most in your life. So, okay, so we are going to dive into day 5, breaking the cycle forever. So I'm going to be giving you several tips and actually a whole list of 10 things that you can do to learn to exit the sugar cycle. So if you want to take notes, you can grab a piece of paper and a pen and do that. I'm also going to list the 10 items on this post. Just depends on your style. If you feel like you learn better with writing it down, go for it. So this time is for you, and feel free to go back and watch the replays anytime that you'd like. Okay, so let's talk about how to easily exit the sugar cycle and move into the life of freedom, energy, and vitality that you were meant to live. So I'm going to share with you a little graphic. Let me go to my share screen of the sugar cycle. And I wanted to show you this to make it more real. So this is the perpetual sugar cycle. I mentioned it briefly, I believe, on day 1, but I wanted to go over it in more detail today so that you can start to recognize when this is happening and how to exit it. Okay, so if you go online, I looked earlier today, if you go online and you look up sugar cycle, you're going to see it says sugar addiction cycle. I am a firm believer that sugar is not addictive like other drugs, or just like other drugs, essentially, because it doesn't affect your brain in the same way. Okay, so I am a firm believer that we can be emotionally attached to sugar, but not necessarily chemically addicted to sugar. I know that there's research studies out there that show rats and mice, how they go after sugar before they go to cocaine. The honest truth is that we are wired for survival. We are wired to and designed to digest, absorb, and get nutrients and energy from carbohydrates. And the simplest form of energy is carbohydrates. So we digest carbs in our mouth from the get-go. This is the top of our digestive system. We have enzymes in our mouth where we digest carbohydrates. We can't digest protein or fat in here. If you put a piece of candy or sugar or bread in your mouth and just let it sit there, you'll notice it start to dissolve. If you put some fat or protein there, it won't do anything, right? Because we don't have enzymes called amylase in our mouth, in our saliva, that digests carbohydrates. So we take that in first, absorb it, digest it. It goes right into our bloodstream for energy. And that's how God made us, which is super amazing. So we go to carbs for energy, and that's just the way it is. And when the mice go after that, it's because they're wired to survive. They get a dopamine hit, oxytocin hit. What's the other one? Dopamine, oxytocin, and what's the other one? Serotonin. There we go. Serotonin hit of energy, of brain chemistry to make you feel better. So it's like that reward center that we get. So that's what's actually happening. Okay, so here we go. So the sugar cycle. So of course it begins with eating sugar. It actually begins with emotions over here. So you have an emotional event occur, something comes up, and if you're triggered by emotions to go to food, then you go to carbohydrates or sugar. It could be anything carby, not necessarily sugar food, but we'll say sugar. You like it, you crave it, and because the emotions hit, then you eat it, right? So then we go to the next stage. So you eat the sugar, eat the carbs, your blood sugar levels spike, dopamine is released in the brain, mass insulin secreted to drop blood sugar levels down. So this is when I told you before, our pancreas is working really hard. It hyper responds to the amount of sugar taken in, and usually more than enough insulin comes in than is needed for the amount of carbs that we took in, to bring the carbs down, just because it's like a stress on it real quick. So it'll come down, bring your blood sugars down below normal levels. You get a blood sugar drop, a spike, and then a drop. Dopamine is released in the brain, mass insulin secreted to drop blood sugar levels. Let's see, is this the same? Blood sugar spike. This looks very similar. I thought mass insulin secreted to drop blood sugar levels. This looks like it's the same. Very interesting. Anyway, I didn't catch that. Anyway, maybe this is wrong. So blood sugar spike, then blood sugar goes below normal levels, and then you are hungry again. Your blood sugar causes your appetite to increase. And of course, as we know, if we have fat or protein, this hunger won't be as strong, right? But if you're just having carbs, it's going to be even stronger, and you're going to feel more hungry, maybe even nauseous, and then feel uncomfortable. And then the thing is that the emotions that you had at the very beginning of this cycle weren't taken care of, and maybe for a few, like an hour or two, but they're still there and getting stronger, because the more we stuff them down, the bigger they build. And like anything, like a volcano, we either explode out with a response to somebody that doesn't equal the crime, or we go back to sugar and have even more to stuff it down even further. So yeah, there's a couple things missing, but I just thought I'd throw that in there so you let me know. So then you go back to eating sugar, and then the cycle perpetuates. This is how it goes around and around. So let's talk about how to get out of this cycle in order to start feeling better and just feel more balanced overall. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my 10 tips for exiting the sugar cycle. Okay, so like I said, I'll share this with you on the video post. I'll share with you the top 10 written, but if you wanted to write them down, go for it. All right, here are my top tips. All right, number 1, set your intention to say no for now. Just like I said before, just make a decision just for now. Like you had this week, just to say, this isn't what I'm doing. Know what your triggers are. More carbs equals more hunger and less satiety, right? We know that. More fat deposition comes as a result of more carbohydrate intake, elevated insulin usage, and then also know your emotional triggers. So these are things that you would need to know in order for you to be inspired and remember to say no for now, right? So know what your triggers are, knowing that more carbs equals more hunger, less satiety, and more fat deposition, because of that's happening because elevated insulin levels. And then also just know your emotional triggers. Okay. Learn what to choose to eat instead of sugary foods. Have your go-to alternatives, or choose to skip it all together. So if you really need something as a backup, that's fine. What I love to do is I love carrying a bag of nuts, whether it's cashews or peanuts or macadamia nuts, or even dark chocolate, or even some peanut butter, to have those available all the time. I usually keep it in my car to grab it as a snack if I'm hungry, and to avoid getting too hungry and going for something sugary. All right, number 3, take your magnesium daily vitamin B complex, L-glutamine, and glutathione to offset cravings. The glutathione is actually for detoxifying, so you can do that on a regular basis just for detoxing. But for cravings offset, you want to do magnesium, vitamin B12, and L-glutamine. Okay, so I showed those to you all yesterday in the day 4 video, if you want to go back to that. Number 4, enjoy simple carbs as a treat on a special day, occasion, or for a special opportunity, right? So choosing exactly what you want, going for the best, never settling. If you've done my groups before, you know this. Never settle. You deserve the best. So if you want something sweet, enjoy it on a special occasion, maybe a time where you're on a date night or out with a friend, at a special celebration, or you just want something sweet and you're really excited to have something special. So my particular sweet treat special thing, I have a couple things. One of them, I love an affogato. Affogato is gelato Italian ice cream with an espresso shot poured over it. That's my go-to. If I really want to enjoy something, I'll go to the place I like to get it. And then my other thing is cannoli. I love Italian food. So cannoli are the Italian desserts that have cream in the center, sometimes chocolate chips, or pistachios, actually, depending on where you go or what you get. So if I want something, I wait for it, and I make sure to enjoy a nice warm cup of coffee with it and make it a really special treat. So always go for exactly what you want, never settle. Number 5, plan your sugar intake and keep it at a low occurrence, like I said. So plan it out. If you want to do a dessert day once a week, or maybe bi-weekly, that's fine too. It's really up to you, and it's optional. If dessert day is like Sunday afternoon with your family, and you don't really feel like it, you don't have to eat it. It's just an opportunity. But if you want, to have it Tuesday, because you missed it on Sunday, that's fine. So, but just being intentional about it and spacing it out so you, just do it less often than not. Number 6, if you feel like you're triggered when you eat it again, you start eating sugar again, enjoy some of your alternatives available to you to get you back on track and keep most sugar out of your life. So if you feel like, man, if I go back to eat that, I can't stop myself. So there's an emotional thing happening there too. It also could be physiologic. Maybe you have some candida or parasites or bacteria that's causing you to go for it. Emotional things that are going on, check into that. So I would say look into that. But if you are needing some help in that area, let me know. I have some great practitioners that are psychologists that specialize in this area. I'm of course experienced as well, and I'm happy to help you if you want to work with me one-on-one or just have some questions. So if you feel like you're struggling if you've been off of sugar and you're afraid to get back on it, reach out to me and let me know. I'll help you with that. So making sure to balance your diet is huge though. Having plenty of fat and protein and low carbohydrate is going to help you a lot. Okay, so number 7, select a day of the week to enjoy a sweet treat, like I said, with family dessert. 8, avoid using sweet treats as a reward to calm anxiety or stress. Use other techniques like we've talked about, such as 30-minute distraction, organizing something, exercising, breathing exercise. You can even do one where you compress your hands on your head and press down for about 10 seconds as hard as you can, and then release. And you can do that about 6 times. And it really is relaxing. Breathing with compression of your hands on your head, or even punching into a pillow. That feels so good. Like I said, before I punched on my desk, I do different things, and it just helps me to release that tension. When you eat mindfully and enjoy it thoroughly, savoring it, only getting your absolute favorite item, right? So today you have the special occurrence of doing a mindful eating exercise with me before we finish out. So if you're watching this recording or live right now, I would like you to take a moment. I'll give you a minute or so to grab a little piece of something, some food. So either a little piece of dark chocolate, you can grab a small piece of fruit, maybe just like get a little piece of banana, a small piece of fruit. You can even do a raisin if you want to, just some small carbohydrate item because it needs to melt in your mouth. So either a piece of fruit or a piece of dark chocolate, a raisin. If you want to even grab a small little piece of bread, that's fine, or a cracker. So go ahead and take a minute and go grab that. I will be right here. And then we'll go into this exercise of mindful eating. Okay, so hopefully have a little something. I'm just going to start diving in. So I'm going to share with you this little script I have, this exercise on mindful eating exercise. So mindful eating means just really being present with your food in that moment. So in noticing the flavor, the texture, the color, how it smells, how it looks like it would taste, how it actually tastes. And then just being present, even being thankful or having gratitude for how that food got in your hand or in your home or on your plate. All the people and the processes it took from being in a seed, fully grown and brought to your home. You going out to get it, the grocers that purchased it, the people who deliver it to the grocer, the manufacturing, all of the things that happened. It's really amazing, and you take a moment to think about it. But I just want to show you, teach you how to eat mindfully and how you can use this in your daily life and your daily practice. So in my online course, the Ageless Body Blueprint, I teach this regularly. We do this. And also the 21-day sugar detox, I include this as well. So, okay, so mindful eating. So here we go. So find a small piece of food, such as a raisin or nut or or a cracker or a piece of bread, like I mentioned. Okay, and what we're gonna do is you're going to really focus on this food. So when you have that piece of food, go ahead and put it in your fingers. Begin exploring this little piece of food using as many of your senses as possible. So first, take a look at the food. Notice its texture and notice its color. Now, close your eyes and explore the food with your sense of touch. What does the food feel like? Is it hard or soft? Does it feel grainy or sticky? Or maybe moist or dry or something else? So what does the food feel like when you explore it with your eyes closed? So notice that you're not being asked to think, but just notice the different aspects of your experience using one sense at a time. This is what it means to be truly mindful. Okay, so before you eat, explore this food with your sense of smell. Go ahead and put it up to your nose and smell it and see what you smell. What do you notice? Does it smell like what it tastes like, you think? Does it have any smell at all? Um, what do you think it will taste like according to your smell? Okay, now you can go ahead and put it in your mouth and slowly eat it, taking at least 2 bites of it to finish it. So just slowly, even if it's tiny, at least 2 bites to finish it. So as you're chewing it, notice your sensory experience of chewing and tasting. Remember, you don't need to think about your food to experience it. You might want to close your eyes for a moment to focus on the sensations of chewing and tasting before continuing on. Notice the texture of the food, the way it feels in your mouth. Notice the intensity of its flavor and how it changes moment by moment. So take about 20 more seconds to very slowly finish the first bite of food, being aware of the simple sensations of chewing and tasting. Okay, so it isn't always necessary to eat this slowly, of course, in order to eat with mindfulness, but it's really helpful just to take a moment to do it one time very slowly in order to learn how to be as mindful as you can be. So you now are building that brain highway, those neurological connections, those neural connections in your brain to start triggering, oh, I know what it feels like to eat mindfully. And maybe while you're eating, you just kind of stop and think for a minute, oh, what does this taste like? What does it feel like? Just being aware of the food that's in your mouth. This really helps also with emotional eating. So if you feel like you're triggered to eat something, when you sit and eat it mindfully, it changes the whole dynamic of the situation. Okay, now if you have another piece of food, or if you don't have one, go ahead and grab one. I forgot to tell you to grab two. We're going to take another bite. Okay. So as before, go ahead and take another bite. As before, chew very slowly while paying close attention to the actual sensory experience of eating. The sensations and movements of chewing, the flavor of the food as it changes, and then the sensations of swallowing. Just paying attention moment by moment. So using a mindfulness eating exercise on a regular basis is only one part of the mindfulness approach to your diet. The liberating power of mindfulness takes deeper effect when you begin to pay mindful attention to your thoughts, emotions, and body sensations, all of which lead us to eat. Mindfulness, also known as awareness, is the foundation that many people have been missing in overcoming food cravings, addictive eating, binge eating, emotional eating, and stress eating. So when we're eating out of emotions or stress or addictive patterns or food cravings, we usually do it quickly, right? Those types of meals are eaten quickly. But mindful eating allows you a moment to take a step back, think about what you're eating, think about what you're doing, and become more aware and in the moment with the food while you're eating it. And you might even find if you're eating carbs out of emotional eating, that if you eat it mindfully, it doesn't even taste good anymore. It doesn't taste as good as you thought it was. Sometimes we just eat quickly when we're eating emotionally because we don't even want to taste it. We just want to get it down. So this is just kind of giving you more peace and freedom to eat and enjoy the foods the way they're intended to be eaten. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that exercise. And it feels really good to take a moment and step back. So, all right. So before we finish up, I just want to share a couple of announcements. One of them is, so to remind you, January 1st to the 21st, we're going to be diving into the 21-day sugar detox book. On the first day, actually the weekend before the first, I know it's the holiday, I'm going to be in the group, the private group, doing a little bit of an orientation, getting you all set up, asking you all to introduce yourselves in the group. Like I said, it's only $17 to join for the 30 days. And if you want to continue that, you can do it as a membership and then cancel anytime you want. But that group is ongoing. So that starts on the 1st. And then on the 1st itself will be day one. Day one will just kind of be an intro as well. So you don't necessarily have to be 100% ready. Sometimes it takes a couple days to actually get in the groove, which is fine. We have 21 days together, so that's totally fine. And then on February 5th, I'm going to be launching the 3rd round of the Ageless Body Blueprint group, How to Be Fit, Fabulous, and Fierce Over 40. And this group came out of a need of women who had finished the 21-day sugar detox and just wanted to continue feeling good, wanted to continue on this wellness journey for life. So I'm not a proponent of taking sugar out of your life for life, but bringing it back in a healthy way, like I said earlier. So if you are interested in doing that with us, let me know. It's our fast track to body fat loss for women over 40. So if you're needing to decrease bloating, get rid of some joint pain, slow down the aging process, slow down the wrinkling of your skin, just feel gorgeous and be the gorgeous woman that God created in you and make the most of your life as you age. And we really are about defying cultural norms of aging in our country and living out our best quality life and really finding that fountain of youth. So if that sounds interesting to you, I hope it does, because it's just the next step after the sugar detox. So let me know. Feel free to reach out to me, send me a private message on Facebook, and I will give you all the details that you need for that. So, all right. So as we finish up, let me share with you all the things that we have learned together this week. So some practical ways to meet not that one, actually this one here, overview. All right, so what we have learned this week. Number one, you've learned how to eat whole, low glycemic food diet, limiting it to 1 fruit serving per day. So mainly a paleo diet with 1 fruit serving per day. You've also learned how to do hard things and to live outside of your comfort zone and accomplish big things. Number 3, we also learned some of the common reasons for why cravings occur and how you can avert them easily. And then we've also learned how to depend on God when things get hard and use the wisdom you have learned in this group to overcome cravings and any habits that you just don't desire. You've also learned how to identify the top emotional triggers for emotional eating and how to manage them without using food, but how to fulfill the needs that you actually have emotionally. You've also learned how to manage your hunger and how to bring ghrelin levels down to avoid overeating or over consumption of carbohydrates in order to lose body fat. You've also learned how to release body fat by eating whole food and keeping your blood sugar levels steady and your appetite in check. You've also learned how to avert cravings and what to eat instead, and how food can act as a drug and affect your mood, and how levels of brain chemicals can affect your food cravings, and how to comfort yourself without using food. And then the last one is know that you aren't alone, that we're all experiencing this together, and that craving sugar and carbohydrates is a completely normal, natural human response. But with God, we can rise above it, we can live above it, and not be a slave to it. So I hope that you learned so much in this group. I'm so blessed by having you each here. I hope I was able to bless you with information that really helped you to move forward with your relationship with sugar. And I really hope that you consider joining us for the 21-day sugar detox, as we're going to dive in even deeper, give you a lot more wisdom and information, and share our hearts with each other as we support each other in this process. And then after that, on February 5th, with the Ageless Body Blueprint, that's coming to you. If you want to register sooner than later, you're more than welcome. That group is always open, and I'm always here for you. So if you have been a part of this group this week, even if you haven't attended every week or you just have watched the replays, then I want to honor each of you ladies a free 30-minute nutrition evaluation with me. So if you have some questions you need answered that weren't necessarily specifically answered in this group, feel free to reach out to me and we can set up a Zoom call. I love meeting new people, so I'm happy to do that and answer any of the questions that you might have for me. Yeah, so I'm open, I'm ready, I'm willing, I'm here to help, and let me know if you need that. So we're going to be doing that for all of you women in the group. And then also, yeah, I think so. Oh, I also have a YouTube channel where all of these videos recordings will be stored, and there's all kinds of other content in there. I also have a video podcast in there for you to enjoy. I'll share the link with you along with this video post. And whether you're watching it on YouTube or you're watching it on Zoom, I'll be sharing that with you on Facebook or on YouTube. So anyway, it was a pleasure having you this week. I really hope this blessed you, and I will see you in the 21-day sugar detox. Take care. Have a beautiful weekend and an amazing Christmas. Take care. Bye.